Yesterday, in an emotional press conference on Capitol Hill, we got to hear directly from survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. Standing alongside them were congressional Democrats. Every Democrat in Congress, all 212 of them, has signed on to the effort to release the full Epstein files and deliver the transparency that the American people deserve. And all we need are 2 more Republicans to force a binding vote. Epstein's victims deserve justice, and releasing the full files is the first step. I'm Curtis Bradley Brown, director of DNC Studios, and your host for today. It's Thursday, September 4th, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. As you may have heard, Republicans are running into some branding issues as more Americans realize that their one big beautiful bill is in fact a flaming dumpster fire.
I'll give you some adjectives. How about awful, horrible, and to quote our dear friend, Mr. Sir Charles Barkley, terrible, terrible, terrible. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we take a look at the big, beautiful bill? I got five, not just 4, 5 different polls across the screen for you. This is the net favorable rating. The highest rating comes from the Washington Post at minus 19 points. How about Pew, minus 20 points? How about Fox, minus 21? Quinnipiac, minus 26. And KFF takes the cake at minus 29 points. When you have a bill whose net favorable rating ranges from minus 19 points, which is already terrible, all the way to minus 29 points, the bottom line is the American people don't see this as a big, beautiful bill. They see it as a big, bad bill. They hate it, hate it, hate it. They think it's awful, awful, awful.
Even Trump has acknowledged that they're in need of a rebrand.
Bill that I'm not going to use the term great, big, beautiful. That was good for getting it approved, but it's not good for explaining to people what it's all about.
Yesterday, they even brought the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, to Capitol Hill to talk to Republicans about how they should sell their own bill, because what they're doing clearly isn't working. Her suggestions start calling it the working family's tax cut. But there's just one problem. You can't convince Americans that this is good for them when it is not. More working families are going to pay more money because of the measures in this budget bill. And the only people that benefit from Trump's economic agenda are wealthy elites, aka the people who are already getting rich on his crypto scams, the people like his donors who are getting sweetheart deals and profiting from government contracts. And those people, they don't need more tax handouts. But what about the family that relies on Medicaid for healthcare or food assistance to feed their kids? The budget bill is putting rural hospitals and nursing homes on the chopping block. It's driving up energy costs, grocery bills, prescription drug prices, and the federal budget deficit. The Republican budget bill is also one of the biggest job killers in the history of our country. Here's Congressman Chris Deluzio explaining more.
Biggest job-killing bill in the history of this country. Biggest job-killing law in the history of America. That's what the people who actually work to build this country are saying. The electricians, the plumbers, the Boilermakers. How does this law do that? By killing 1.75 million construction jobs. That's billions in pay that would have gone to good, solid jobs for American workers.
Under this bill, the bottom 10% of households will pay $1,200 a year more, and the top 10% of Americans will pay $13,600 a year less. And do we really think that millionaires and billionaires should pay less in taxes? Here's the bottom line. This bill sucks. We know it sucks. You know it sucks. And the more that people find out what's in it, the more unpopular it gets. It's already the least popular budget bill in history. And no amount of rebranding from the White House can change that. Trump and his administration are trying to talk up temporary, watered-down provisions that tinker around the edges of the tax code. But they fail to address the permanent, massive tax handouts that they're shoveling to the wealthiest Americans, all at the expense of working families' health care and food assistance. So if you're sitting at home pissed off about this like we are, then thankfully there's something you can do. The DNC has compiled the worst of the worst impacts of this budget bill all in one handy website, trumptax.com. We encourage you to arm yourself with the facts and call out any Republican that's trying to rebrand this disaster of a bill. And if you have a story of a local food bank, a hospital, or a nursing home that's at risk of closing because of this bill, share it with us in the comments. Here at the DNC, we are going to keep bringing the facts, not the spin, as we fight to undo the worst measures in this bill and deliver the tax fairness and common sense budget that America deserves. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We're here every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.